Hi there. Welcome to Craft with Kathie. I have a fun project for you this evening. It is going to be using the Cup of Cheer Minis. This is an 8.5 by 11 inch stencil or transfer, and there's 12 different images on it, and there's little cut lines here so you can cut it apart. And I haven't used this yet, so I'm going to take it out of its little packaging. All of our transfers or stencils come in a little cellophane envelope that allows you to store them when you're done using them because our stencils are reusable. If you're new to my channel, just jump right in or comment newbie. If you have any questions, just ask away. I'm going to cut these, leaving the backer intact. So to do that, let's see if I hope these are not the scissors that my brother was trying to open something up with the other day, because he might have ruined them, I'm not sure. I caught him using them. I said, oh, no, you can't use my chalk scissors. He's like, it's fine. I'm like, oh no, I don't know if it's fine or not. He was trying to actually pry something open, which is kind of disturbing. Let's see if this works or not. So this did pretty well. There were a couple areas where it didn't quite cut through the silk screen, and I had to clip them with the transfer trimmers. But I like keeping my backer sheet in one piece, because if I had separated this into 12 different pieces, when I put them back in the envelope, they'd all kind of be in front of each other and I couldn't see them. So keeping it in one piece lets me see all 12 designs. Just what works for me, you do what works for you. So I'm going to use these on our little coaster set. And I think these are out of stock online, but if you need them, just send me a message or a text or an email or whatever, because I do have some extras right now. Have you ever found yourself in the situation where someone stops over and brings you a gift and you miss them from your Christmas list, or you haven't quite gotten to shopping for them, and it's like you're a little bit embarrassed? Well, these coasters could come to your rescue. They're quick and easy to make. They're a lot of fun. They're not that expensive, and you could personalize them however you want. There are actual designs that go with them, but I'm going to use the Cup of Cheer with them tonight. And you could actually chalk both sides if you wanted. I'm only going to chalk one side, because then I'll probably put, I don't even really know if I need to put cork on the back of these or not. I have to think about that. But anyway, where was I going with this? They're easy enough to do. You could personalize them. I do have a set that I'm making that is more fall orientated, with different colored fall leaves on it and whatever. And I really like the images on this Cup of Cheer, and this happens to be a B-size transfer. Our B-size transfers are 8.5 by 11. And so let me just jump in here and get started. When you are using one of our stencils or transfers, you want to fuzz it first. And this is my little fuzzing cloth, and I've used it quite a bit. And basically what you do with it is you put a little lint on the back of your stencil. Ouch. Stencil or transfer. I have a cracked fingernail there that's cracked so high up I can't cut it off yet. I'm kind of like, oops, so I just now bent it backwards. So because they're adhesive backed, you want to diminish the stickiness a little bit, especially when they're brand new, so it doesn't stick real strongly. This is actually, our coasters are made out of our Couture Boutique surface, and this is the type of surface that allows you to erase or remove your chalk paste from it if you want to. Now you could say, well, these are coasters, why would I want to remove it? Well, if you're new to chalking, and if you make a little mistake or anything, spritz it with water, use a paper towel, and just wipe it off. Our chalk paste goes on liquid, but does dry to a hard finish. I'm going to go all red on this using the candy apple. It says Mary. I'm just going to grab some paste. Ooh, I did grab a lot there. Woohoo! And then just go over it with a little squeegee. making sure that I have all the white area, which is the silk screen, covered. And you could turn your surface so that it's easier. I like to chalk and pull the squeegee towards me. It gives me a little bit more control, but it's easy enough to do. And then when you have it totally covered, just go over it, remove any lines and the excess paste, and put the excess paste back in your jar. Or you might be using the little packets, that's fine too. Now, all I'm going to do is lift this up and take a look at it. Now lift it slowly to make sure things look good, because if things don't look quite right, while I still have it attached, I can lay it back down and get an area I missed or something. Okay, this looks good. So I'm going to put this aside to clean. I just had a little chalk flake there. But wasn't that quick and easy? And if this wasn't centered, or I smeared it, or something else happened, I could just spritz it with water and wash it off. Our paste goes on liquid, but will dry to a hard finish. Now, because these are coasters, and you might very well be putting something damp, you know, a cup or glass that kind of sweats and could cause moisture on it, you probably want to seal these before you use them or give them as a gift. Generally, if they get wet, as long as somebody doesn't smear it, it could be fine. People have actually chalked their rear view windows out of their car, and the chalk paste has stayed up for months. But if it was raining and they put their wipers on in the back, it would probably smear it, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's pick another design out. I'm going to go with the ho ho ho, and let's use a couple different colors here. Let's have some fun. Oops. Got a little thread from the silk screen there. Just cut that. Okay. So remember, I want to fuzz it before I put it on there. If you don't fuzz it first, it might stick a little bit strongly. Now, depending upon what your surface is, you fuzz a little differently. For example, if you are working with something that is non-porous, like glass or metal or mirror or acrylic, you want to fuzz it quite a bit, because your stencil will stick very, very snugly. Working with something like fabric, because you can use our stencils on fabric, you don't need to fuzz it at all, actually, because we want it to stick as strongly as possible. Okay, I'm going to use a couple different colors here. Let me just kind of get my little tools here. I think I'm going to use the red for the little berry, and then I'm going to do the ho-ho-hos in different colors, just for the heck of it. Our chalk paste is water soluble, so it's easy to clean. Just want to take, took too much again. I'm using a tool called a detail tool that at one end has a real tiny squeegee. And the other end has a pointy thing. And the point is good for maybe etching off a mistake if it's already dried, or for lifting your transfer if it's stuck and you can't grab it with your fingers or your fingernails, and a whole bunch of different things. And then this is another tool. It's called a multi-tool. It has a little bit bigger of an end. Oh, I need to clean that. On one side squeegee, and the other side is good for your jars, getting around like underneath the neck or the lip of the jar and stirring it up. Let me grab a disinfecting wipe and clean that one off. I've got some chalk paste that I missed getting off of it. I'm coming at you from the suburbs west of Chicago, where it's cold. It's in the 20s. It's been really hard adjusting to it, because the temperatures were rather decent, rather mild, more like lows were in the 40s, right? And then all of a sudden we drop below freezing, and it's not like it's just below freezing at night, it's below freezing all day long. So it's been a little difficult to get used to. Okay, this is my shimmer spruce. It's a nice shimmery dark green, and I'm going to do these leaves with that. So I want to go over the silk screen, clean off any excess. And put the excess back in the jar. Now if I made a mistake and smeared this or kind of blurred the green and the red together, I could clean it off and just start over. So I put the excess back in my little jar, and then I'm going to use a mini squeegee. This is our mini squeegee to put the other colors on. And let's see, what do I want to go with? How about a nice pretty, I think it's Sunset, Sunset Drive. I love this color. It's like a melon, and it just is so warm. I'm going to stick my finger right in the jar. It's so warm, I think. It just really warms things up. So let me do this in the melon. I probably should have put a couple other squeegees out here, and I did not. So I'm going to have to clean it along as I go here. So this is pretty much it. I'm just using a squeegee or my other tools to apply the paste over the top of the transfer or stencil, and when I use the squeegee or other tool, it goes through the silk screen of the transfer and lands on the surface beneath it. Our chalk paste goes on liquid but will dry hard. So once I have it all filled in, all the different colors that I'm making or using or whatever, I could use one color or I could use many. Then I just basically lift up the stencil, and voila, that's the peel and reveal, and it's done. How simple and easy is that? Here I'm just adding the last color on. It's a kind of a purple. It's called Berry. And then I'm finished, and it's time for the peel reveal. Here. You generally don't want to pull or tug on the corners. You don't want to stretch your transfer. Ooh, I think that looks nice and cheery, doesn't it? What do you think? How simple and quick was that? Now this is going to take about 5 to 8 minutes to dry. I did use some of our shimmer. The blue is a shimmer color, so it'll take a little bit longer to dry. If I needed to speed it up, I could actually we have a drying tool that you could use. It's not as warm. It doesn't get as hot as a hairdryer. You don't want anything hot to melt your transfers or stencils or whatever. And that works pretty good, or just set it aside. Okay, so let's see, what else should I do? Ooh, cheers to an old-fashioned holiday. These are just lovely. Let me have a cup of, ooh, I only have 6. I'm gonna get a little ahead of myself. I really like this glass. Let me do this one first, and then I'll decide what I'm doing for the other ones. Well, this will be quick. It's a one and done, one color, and you're done with it. So that'll be a real quick, fast little coaster. I'm lining this up with all the points on the edges of the round portion of the coaster. That way it's centered. Real easy. Apply the paste, smooth it out, remove any lines, remove any excess, peel and reveal. So what a nice, easy way to have a few spare gifts laying around, and being that you could use different designs, you can tailor them to different recipients or the different seasons or whatever. It'd be great for a birthday gift too. It doesn't have to be just for Christmas. These are perfect because of Cup of Cheer, but you could do leaves for autumn, or maybe some spring flowers for the springtime, or just maybe some motivational or interesting sayings on them. Our minis are great for this because the mini transfers are always 12 on a B-size sheet, meaning that they're 3 inches by 3 inches, which fit absolutely perfectly on our coasters. Our coasters come in the white and also in the black, and both of them are chalkable, easy to erase surfaces. Just remember to seal them before you expose them to any moisture. And no, I wouldn't wash them in a dishwasher. Haven't tried it. I mean, probably would be okay after they're sealed with gator hide or something. Maybe I'll try it and let you know what I find out. So here I've actually done the dove, and I used the Sunset Drive, which is a nice warm kind of peachy color, and I'm just doing the leaves in my spruce shimmer. Just two colors here. I think the dove is really pretty. Obviously I'd go for white, but being these are white coasters, it wouldn't show up, so that's why I picked the Sunset Drive. And notice I deliberately smeared some chalk on the side so I could show you how to clean it. It looks pretty good. I went off, obviously, deliberately here and here, unintentionally, and I've got a little smear up here. I missed part of the piece, but we'll take care of that in a minute. Let me grab a paper towel and clean this up, and I'll show you how you actually clean our stencils so that I can go back and fix this one. I'm going to just take a piece of paper towel, spritz it with a little bit of water, then I'm going to come over here where I smeared it and just wipe it off. Paste wasn't quite dry yet, so it's easy to remove, and the same thing right here. Okay, and then I'm going to put this aside to dry. Let me show you how to clean our stencils. Generally, you would take it over to a sink and run it under water to clean it, and you could use your fingers, or you could actually use one of our board erasers. And did I knock it over? I know I had a board eraser out here. Yep, I did. Let me grab my board eraser. Okay, I've already used this to clean something yesterday, so it has paste on it from a project from yesterday, but I'm just going to go over it real easy. Take off most of the chalk paste, then I'm going to come back with a disinfecting wipe. You don't have to use a disinfecting wipe if you don't want to. Flip it over and wipe off the sticky side. Now, when you clean the sticky side, you want to actually get all the paste off of it first, and then you want to go back over it and remove any of the lint that you have on it. So once I get the paste off of it, I go back over in one direction and just wipe off any of the fuzz that might be on it. If you're ever sure, you're not sure if it's clean, hold it up and make sure you can see through the silk screen. As long as you can see through the silk screen and there's no paste caught in it, it's clean. Now I'm going to put this set aside to dry, sticky side up right over here before I use it, because I want it to dry first. Okay, for this one I think I'm going to use Have a Cup of Cheer, and I'm going to do a one and done just in the blue. I fuzzed my transfer, applied it to the coaster. I'm grabbing some paste with my squeegee, smoothing it over the silk screen, removing any lines and any excess paste, putting the excess paste back in the jar, and it's time for peel and reveal. How's that? I'm running out of room. I need a little bit more room. I'm going to set this over on the side to dry, and I've got one more stencil. I have to decide what colors and what image I want to put on there. I'm going to show you a little trick though, actually, with our fuzzing cloth. We have one side that's like a terry and the other side is like microfiber. And if you need to dry one of your stencils quickly, You want to set it on the microfiber side, sticky side up, fold the fuzzing towel over on it, squeeze out any excess moisture, and then set it to dry. This way it'll dry much quicker and it'll be ready for us when we're ready for it. Okay, one more coaster. Let's see, what do I want to use? Okay, for the last one, I decided to go with the candle and the holly. So I'm going to use quite a few different colors on this. I'm going to make the candle itself blue, the base blue, the holly would be in green, the berries in red, and then I'm going to do the rays and the flame of the candle in yellow. So a little bit more detailed here. I'm using my detail tool and my multi-tool because they both have smaller squeegees on one side of them. If you don't have either of those, you can take one of our mini squeegees and actually just cut it vertically into thinner strips and use those. That's what we used to do before Chalk came up with the detail tool and the multi-tool. So that's pretty much it. They're really good for getting into tight little spaces. I'm doing the candle here. Oh, I did do the base of the candle or the holder in the darker blue. And I'm covering up my pastes as I go. Probably a good idea so they don't dry out or that you don't knock them over. I've been known to knock over a jar of paste. Now I'm using the 3-ounce jars, but our paste is also, and our inks are also available in individual packets that you could usually get 1 or 2 projects out of, depending of course upon the size of the project. So if you're new to chalk or you only need a tiny bit of one color, you don't have to go with the 3-ounce jars. You can get the individual packets. Just check out my little video about how to use the packets most economically and how to seal them up for a future use. Just saves you a little bit of money there. So now I'm doing the holly using the squeegee end of the multi-tool. And then once I'm actually done with this, I'm going to go back to the dove in the piece and show you how I corrected that little edge where I missed part of the banner that says piece. I kind of didn't get it fully covered when I applied the paste. Now I know we talked a little bit about sealing these. I'm going to actually be using the gator hide to seal it, but you could use a spray sealer if you want. I do like the gator hide. It is almost kind of like self-leveling, and you just apply it with a sponge brush. So it's easy and it's efficient. I've used it a few times and I haven't even made a dent in my jar. Watch for that video in the next day or two. For presentation of this as a gift, I would probably just put them in their little case. You can chalk the little wooden case if you want, but you don't have to. Put them in a cellophane kind of a envelope and put a ribbon on top. That's it. Simple. Okay, let's lift this up. Little peel and reveal here. I'm going to lift up slowly so that you take a look at it and make sure you don't have to, that you didn't miss any areas. This looks good. My yellow looks a little light. The rays look light, but it's yellow, so I guess that's kind of the deal with it. And I've got a smear, so let me take care of that smear right now. My wet paper towel, just clean that up. Okay. So let me put that aside to dry. I'm running out of room. I want to go back to this dove. I'm going to take my stencil that's dry now. I am going to fuzz it again. I'm going to show you how I lay it back down and take care of that area where I kind of missed the banner, the word piece. I didn't get it all with the paste. So I fuzzed it. I'm going to just line it up. Now a lot of our newer stencils are a little bit more translucent, so it's easier to align them. And that's just what I'm going to do here. I've got this stuck to my finger, don't I? Okay. come over here and just get that edge that I missed. Okay. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You've seen how to clean a stencil and a nice little tour of the Couture stencil and how easy it is to create your own coasters. Just clearing space here. So how quick and easy was that? Isn't that fun? Thank you for joining me this evening. I surely appreciate it. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. And if there's anything I can help you out with, don't hesitate. I've put the website address in the description to this video if you want to check that out, or if you want to send me a direct message. All the information can be found there. I'd be happy to put a cart link or anything together for you if you want to try things out. And if you'd like to create your own little side hustle, drop me a line. I'd love to have you on my team. It's fun, easy, and a nice way to pick up some extra cash. See you soon.